Alright, what's up, y'all? It's Wooly here. Today we're going to go ahead and go over the mechanics for the Elite Duo. It's pretty straightforward. I do recommend having a 3 or 4 loadout rotation with the shield on there. So if you're Might, 3 or 4 powers, and then if you're Prec, take off your robot sidekick and put on a shield. It's not necessary if you got a healer or a tank, but it does help just in case. Not just to protect yourself against all the random stuff that's happening, but also in case you need to pick somebody up. So here, as far as that mechanic, you see what she did, and she'll do it again. She raises her hand, and when she raises her hand, it's always her first mechanic. She'll pull you in, and when she pulls you in, she'll drop that AoE. I don't know if it's feathers or what, but it's an AoE. So as long as you're like 3 or 4 feet away, you're not going to get hit by that. But after that, what she does is she'll put that red skull over her head, like that right there, where she's going to charge. When she charges you, it's a one-shot if you're not blocking, so don't roll, don't try to avoid it, just block. That's all you got to do. This DLC is very heavy on blocking. Also, when she swoops in on you like that, sometimes she won't just do the little twirl once, she'll do it about 3 or 4 times. So you might just want to hold block for a second there. If she does it once, you're good, you can roll away, start your attack. She lifted her hand up. She's fixing to charge. See that skull above her? But again, she'll lift her hand up. She'll pull you in, just like that. She'll yank you from across the map, and she'll shoot up to do her mechanic. So it's fairly easy to avoid. It might get you a couple of times, but that's fine. That's expected. After that, she's going to do the charge. You can see it like right there. So you just block, and that's it. Okay. So when we get to this next area, we get to the next boss. This one, after running it a couple of times, one thing I noticed, because there is a feat for not setting off his reflection shield. What he does is he'll shake his fist, and when he shakes his fist, he's going to put on a reflection shield. So don't hit that. You're going to kill yourself. It's also a feat if nobody hits it. But here's the thing. It's a little bit tricky with the timing. So let's say if I go to cast Tesla Ball, right? I'm dropping my damage over time. The shield doesn't necessarily need to be active for you to start taking damage. What happens is anytime that animation is visible, so even if it's just him shaking his hand, if he's shaking his hand and there's that red icon over his head and you cast the damage over time, it's going to affect you and you're going to start getting feedback from his shield. You're going to get damage back on you. So be mindful, be patient with your damage out. Try not to, get real heavy into your rotation, because there's a lot of these things that have animations that will leave you stuck in them. So Tesla Ball is really terrible for that one. In here, you might try putting on Electrogenesis for the 12 seconds cooldown and 12-second, running damage over time, as opposed to Tesla Ball. Just for this encounter, it's not necessary, but it will probably be a saving grace at times. So again, just be mindful. As soon as he raises his hand, stop attacking. Because if you cast anything after that, if it's just like a one hit, like Solar Amplifier or something like that, you can stop. It's not going to hurt. But you can see there, he put his hand up, put his shield up. So as soon as you see his hand up, you need to stop attacking. Don't try to cast something like Tesla Ball, with big damage over time. Because if you cast it, as soon as his hand goes up, even if the shield isn't up, you're going to get damage over time from it. Now, what he does immediately after the shield, so you'll see this, and this is why it's good to move back and forth. Don't just stand in one place like we're doing right here. So what he does is, as soon as he's done with his reflection shield, he'll spawn those green pools underneath you. They're basically a one-shot and a damage over time, so they will bring your health down considerably fast. Another reason why it's good to have a shield in here. And they continue hitting you. Other than that, he'll drop that. What are you doing right there? He's spewing that green. You'll see it before he does that green. He'll put a red area of effect on the ground, it goes out like a cone shape almost, just getting wider as it goes out. That's where you need to avoid that area because he's going to just spew out. So really just kind of rotate around. But he continues to drop the green puddles on the ground. So, just pace yourself. It's all about pacing. You can see that red cone there I was talking about. He's spewing it out. But he also will pull you in. You saw that a second ago where he will attempt to pull you in, just like the last boss. And he will drop a green puddle on you, just like that. So if you stand still too long, you're probably going to get a green puddle underneath you. So it's good to just kind of move back and forth a little bit, right? So we'll let you see the mechanics here. And we'll try to cover them again as we go through it. Alright, so let's watch. I don't know if you can interrupt him when he's doing that beam. I would think so. I never get many chances to test it. But I'm pretty sure you can interrupt him when he's just doing that regular beam. Okay, so he's about to do a shield here. But he's fixing to spawn those green pools. See? So you want to keep moving, stay moving. Do your attacks, punches and bunches. You don't need to stand there and go through a full rotation. If you try to do a full rotation, you're probably going to die. So drop a couple of hits, move around. Drop a couple of hits, move around. Just try to be mindful. Okay, so he's got his shield up. And like I said, you'll be able to see he's going to drop green on us right after he's done with that. See? He pulled me in. Usually he'll drop green as soon as he pulls you in, so I'm surprised he didn't do that. He must have some kind of cooldown. You see, I'm not immediately attacking him over and over and over because I'm trying to time his mechanics here. See, if I didn't have that shield on, that would have really took a good chunk out of my health. As we get to the last boss, he's pretty easy. He has a couple of different attacks. One of them can be interrupted. It's like a gray beam because he shoots out a couple of different things. One is very short, so if you're just standing like 8 feet away, it's not going to hit you. He's just sitting there. You can't interrupt him at that one. It's like a purplish cloud that comes out. It's a big line. But if it's just the gray line, the gray beam, that can be interrupted. That you can actually interrupt him. He will try to trap you as well, so it's good to have a shield and hold on to it, even if it's just a consumable, like a personal dampening field. Because what he'll do is it's not the purple pools, it is a purple effect though. He will spawn it underneath you, and he'll trap you, and while these hands are grasping you, you start taking damage. So, conserve your shield use in here. When he drops his skull over his head like that, he's immediately going to follow up with two, void orbitals, more or less. It's that area of effect. So when he has that red skull above him, you just need to rotate to the left or right. Now you see he stunned me, and he put those hands on me. I had my shield ready, so it was going. It didn't affect me. So as long as you can try to time that, you should get through it, no issues. Right there, you see a skull. He put the purple down, and then he follows it up with another cone shape on the ground. It's not a one-shot though, as far as I'm aware. It'll hit you, and you should be able to recover from it. But that's it. You just kind of need to watch for the skull. The skull is the big thing. He says something. I forget what he says, but he'll say something. But as long as you're paying attention for the skull, you should be able to avoid it. And then, like I said, the only one that's really hard to get out of and really hard to avoid. Like, see, that attack doesn't ever really make any connection if you're far away. If you're a tank, well, do your best. But like I said, the only mechanic to really watch out for is the skull with the purple area of effect, like the shadow thing, or the hands that grasp. There's not really a way to avoid those hands. You just need to be prepared for it with a shield or a supply drop or soda of some kind. Maybe a breakout or an immunity to quell and mitigate the damage a little bit. That's it. It's pretty straightforward. This whole DLC is very big on blocking. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you next time. We'll be out and stay frosty.